Hello everyone, this is Christina and I'm periscoping weekly about my own organic garden in San Diego. Right now we are having a heat wave here in San Diego and we are having, I think it's almost 82, oops, this is my Doberman Skylar, just checking out the flowers, smelling the flowers. Hi Skylar. But back to this little bouquet. So I was about to say that we are having a heat wave right now here in San Diego, and it is supposed to get 97 degrees Fahrenheit hot. It's already 82, and it's I think about 10 a.m. So this is 36 degrees Celsius. That's the highest temperature that's expected today, and it's already 28 degrees Celsius that we are having now. So I'm periscoping today about my own organic garden, and I want to show you what looks good in these temperatures. So we're having a heat wave, we have 2 more days of similar temperatures, and I want to tour the garden and show you what looks good and actually what doesn't look so good. So starting with what you see right now, I was out in the garden today in the morning, and in these temperatures I cut my roses. Usually I have trouble, I'm a little stingy to cut roses from the garden, but with these temperatures they are fried really in a couple more hours, so I cut them for indoors. And what you see here, this little plonk, this is the rose you see is a Prince. It's a David Austin rose, very, very strong fragrance, beautiful rose. Shows a little bit of mildew problems, but I still keep it because the flowers are so gorgeous, and I think you don't have a doubt about the beauty of the flowers. The blue small flowers that you see in the back, this is Salvia Mystic Spires Blue, and I think they just make a nice pair together with the roses. So very easy, cut a few roses, cut a few stalks of salvia, and you have together a nice little plonk that you can take indoors and enjoy indoors when it's too hot to be in the garden. I have prepared another little vase for you. Just a second, I have to take the flowers down from the table because we are living on a hilltop and it becomes a little windy, and these glass vases are just blown off the table in a split second, so I just don't want that to happen. The little rose that you see right now, this is another miniature rose from my garden. So I just cut it a few minutes ago. This is irresistible, and you see it's so simple. Just put it in a nice little glass vase, and it's really beautifying your desk, and you have something to enjoy in the house. Here is the close-up of the flower. So then I will take you around a little bit more. Again, I will put these down so that they don't get toppled over by the wind. So now this is my work from this morning. I just deadheaded half an hour today, and then I really had to finish and go indoors and get ready for the periscope. And now I will just show you around a little bit, and then I will head in and just enjoy the air-conditioned house. So one rose that does surprisingly good even in these temperatures is Pierre de Ronsard. This rose is also called Eden. I think the more common name is Eden in Europe. And this rose, again, for the heat that we are having, is doing surprisingly well. And you see it's really a huge bush. This rose, I guess, is towering above me, maybe 8 foot high. And even in this heat, it still produces these really beautiful and gorgeous flowers. They're also very good for cutting in the vase. So the flowers are certainly one of my favorites. But here's another one, you see another bud. But I have to say the rose I cannot recommend wholeheartedly, because right now it's looking good, the foliage is looking okay. But in the beginning of this year in spring, it has such a bout of rose rust. So it's very depending on what the climate does, how good this rose looks or not. It also can, to be quite honest with you, look pretty awful at certain times. I still, again, for the beauty of the flowers, I keep it in my garden. But as I said, I cannot wholeheartedly recommend this rose. Then I just will kneel down here a little bit. That may not be something very special to you, but I'm quite happy about this plant, I have to say. This is Campanula. I don't know if I can pronounce the name right. It's Poshkarskiana Blue Waterfall. And it just makes a very nice, fresh-looking ground cover, even in this heat, which is really not so easy to achieve here in hot and dry San Diego. So I have another one over here, and you can see it also makes a nice little carpet of a ground cover. And I discovered this plant, or I just became aware of this plant in England actually, where it grows in the crevices of these free-stacked walls. And I thought that could be a drought-tolerant plant, and sure enough, it actually is. So let's just move over to my white garden bed and have a look there. So the agapanthus, this is a white flowering agapanthus. This is over, it needs to be deadheaded. A rose that's still good in the heat is Pope John Paul II. It's on the last leg of this flush, but I hope you can see it through the camera. There are plenty of new buds, so it won't take long and it will produce another flush of white flowers. Then what you can see here is a white gaura. I just hope that it cools down a little bit and they can finally plant these plants into the ground. It has a very delicate butterfly-like bloom. And I think it will look quite nice, and I also can imagine the blooms to be good candidates for little plonks for vases to bring indoors. So another rose that's between flushes. One plant that's really so good in the heat is Alstroemeria, and I think the name is Princess Lily's Clare. And this plant really literally blooms since 4 months for me. I have another, let me just get another shot. Now I'm putting my own shade on the flowers. I have another one in the front yard. It's also an Alstroemeria. It's a different variety, and that has long given up the ghost in terms of flowering. But this is just keep going, and you see the blooms are really quite nice. I'm surprised that this heuchera looks still as good as it does in the moment, even with the heat. I hadn't thought that it would make it, but you see the foliage is quite beautiful, and the silver tone of the foliage goes very well with white flowers in this white garden bed. Another plant that I'm really excited about is this one here. Here I need to look at my little, oh no. These are the legs of my Doberman Skylar. Skylar, can you just move a little bit? You're not standing. Come. Go. Go. So, so again, I'm quite excited about this plant. I just have to look at my little cheat sheet here. The name is so complicated. So the name is Dihondra sericea silver ponyfoot. And it really has a silvery sheen to the leaves. And I think that's one reason why it is drought tolerant. And I believe over time it will make a really good ground cover. Let me just get a shot from the other side, and I think you can see the silvery sheen even more. I can hardly see anything on the screen because the sun is so blinding right now. But one thing I'm not so sure though, I have never seen this plant in anybody else's garden, so I just hope that it is not invasive. So we will see, but otherwise I love the little heart-shaped leaves. It would be so good if it is really a drought-tolerant plant, and it really starts to spread, I would say, since 2 weeks now. It had a little bit trouble to get going, but I think that's really a nice ground cover for my white garden bed. If you're interested, again, the name is Dihondra sericea silver ponyfoot. What still looks good is my white dianthus. The name of this variety is Floor Lace White. They are still blooming and they really radiate a nice perfume even when I'm now standing here and taking the shots. They need to be deadheaded, obviously, but that's not a big deal, and they also flower already for quite a long time. Then here is another rose. It's a hybrid tea rose, moonstone, having a nice flush, but if I come closer, you might be able to see that the blooms, they are not spent, it's simply the sun burning them. They are not able to stand up to this heat here. It's even more clear, I think. So that's just something that we have to live with here in San Diego, and always look for flowers, roses, whatever it is that really can take the heat without crumbling. It's not too bad yet though, but I'm not sure how this will look at the end of the day. So moving further, here's one other rose, which I think is quite nice. This is Auckland Metro, again at the end of a flush, but this rose is actually standing up to the heat quite well. So again, I have to get out of the sun. It's so hard. If I do that, I cannot see the screen anymore of the phone, so I cannot take a proper shot. So we were talking about the good and the bad and, so to speak, the ugly. This rose, this is very, very sad. That was, I have to say, Memorial Day, another beautiful hybrid tea rose, just planted a few weeks ago, and that just didn't make it in the heat. It's too hard. You never know if you overwater or underwater a rose, and this one just wasn't getting through the heat. So there is this is an onward rose, and there's a small chance that it will grow back from the roots, but to be honest, I'm too impatient to wait for that, and I will replace it with another one. So I'm hot enough myself now. I would like to say goodbye to you, and I hope you join next weekend again, where I will do another periscope from my own garden. So I would like to say goodbye with this scene, which despite the heat still looks pretty good. So I hope you come back. Hope you follow me, then you know when I do my next periscope. And thank you so much for watching. Until next weekend, I hope you enjoyed yours. Stay cool. Bye bye.